If you would like to optimize your beautiful children's books sales page over on Amazon to make the absolute most out of every inch on this page, then this video is for you. So make sure to save this one because this one will apply to every single one of us children's authors. Hi there, I'm Eevi, an award-winning children's author and ghostwriter over on eevijones.com and the creator of Children's Book University. I create videos specifically for children's authors, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. One of the things I do during my one-on-one strategy sessions is to help optimize fellow authors' sales page over on Amazon. I have very limited time these days and I haven't offered any strategy sessions for quite some time. So I wanted to make sure to support you by sharing the 8 most common mistakes many children's authors often make when it comes to their Amazon sales page and how to easily fix them today. Now you may be asking, Eevi, why is how our sales page looks and appears so important? Our book sales page over on Amazon is the only piece of information a potential buyer has to make their decision as to whether or not they should be buying our book or that of another author. So we will want to provide as much information and social proof as we possibly can over there. I always like to visualize it as taking others on a journey that leads us from the top of the page all the way to the bottom. That's a lot of digital real estate to scroll through, so we want to make sure we showcase as much as possible about our book in a fun, intriguing, and professional way. Now, before we dive in, a quick note on what I won't be covering in this video. I'm not going to focus on our book cover, our book's title, our keywords, or our categories. And the reason I won't be covering them in this video is because in order for our book to show up on someone's search results page over on Amazon, our title and our keywords already did their job, right? Otherwise, our book wouldn't have appeared among the search results. And our book must have already spoken and appealed to the potential buyer with our cover and our book title. Otherwise, they wouldn't have clicked through to the actual sales page of our book. Because unless a buyer had the direct link to our book, the only other way to find our book is if our book shows up as a search result. So if you need any help with your cover, your title, keywords, and the categories, and how to optimize those, I have separate videos on each of these topics, and I made sure to share them in the description below. These elements are part of the first stage of what I consider to be a buyer's journey. So they are incredibly important, but in this video, we'll focus on the parts that are most relevant to our sales page, the second stage of our buyer's journey. So let's work our way from the top of the sales page to the bottom of it. The first lost opportunity and mistake is to not give our children's book a subtitle. Now, while subtitles are not as common for children's books, most other genres do make use of its added advantage because it gives authors yet another opportunity to weave in important keywords relevant to their book. And we as children's authors should absolutely do the same. If you have watched my perfect title formula videos, you already know that keywords are so very important when it comes to letting Amazon's algorithm know when to put our books in front of what buyers. And so setting up a subtitle for our book not only allows us to add keywords for Amazon's algorithm, but also clarifies for potential buyers what our book will be about. For example, if my book Sometimes It Rains only had its title, many might assume that the book is simply about the weather. And so that's where my subtitle swoops in and helps clarify the message of the book, recognizing and honoring all my feelings and emotions. So now the potential buyer knows what it is, and I am providing Amazon with keywords like feelings and emotions, so it knows where to place it. Now, it's important to know that once a paperback or hardcover has been published, we can no longer change a title or add a subtitle. And that's because those are always directly connected to our ISBN. So if our book has already been published, here's what we can do. We can always add a subtitle to the ebook version of our book. And that's great because even though our subtitle would only show up for our ebook, the derived keyword and algorithm benefits would transfer over to all the other formats because our paperback, hardcover, and ebook all show up on the same sales page. So if you don't have one yet, I encourage you to consider adding a subtitle to your ebook today. And if you need any help with this, I've shared my separate subtitle video in the description below. The second lost opportunity and mistake is to not take full advantage of our book's description. To optimize our description, we want to make sure it has our most important keywords woven into it, that it is not too long, and that the text is broken up into easily digestible paragraphs. People's attention span is so very short, so we want to make sure our text looks appealing to their eyes and not tiring. This is something we can easily adjust anytime, either directly in KDP or via our Author Central account. So if you feel your description needs optimizing, I encourage you to do so today. And if you need any help with the actual writing of your description and what should be included, I've shared my separate video in the description below. The third lost opportunity and mistake is to not offer our book in multiple formats, ideally as a paperback, a hardcover, and an ebook. Personally, I do not always offer a hardcover version of each of my books, but I always make the paperback and ebook formats available. Even though I much prefer little ones to read my books as a physical copy, I want to leave it up to the buyer which formats they would like to purchase for their kids. And besides providing more choices, there are so many other reasons to consider creating an ebook version, be it to make it easier for our launch team to more quickly and easily access our book, be it to make our book financially more affordable to buyers, or to simply allow our book to participate in promotional things like enrolling our ebook into KDP Select or other ebook deals offered on other various promotional websites. There are no additional costs associated with adding more than just one format, other than needing an additional ISBN for our hardcover. So if you haven't yet, I encourage you to look into creating at the very minimum the ebook version of your beautiful children's book. And I have created so many videos that share free ways on how to do just that. The fourth lost opportunity and mistake is to not add an author bio to our book. I see this so often, and it truly is such a lost opportunity to connect with potential buyers. Unless a book is already well known, I as a parent want to know who wrote the books my kids are about to read, right? And so there's a reason why Amazon allows us authors to set up an author profile. So we will definitely want to take advantage of this. At the very least, we would want to provide a picture and a link to a place outside of Amazon where readers can find us and further connect with us, whether it's a link to a social media account we are really active on or a link to our own website. Again, if you need any help with your author bio, make sure you watch my separate video on that. I shared the link in the description below. That way, you can optimize your author profile and make your tweaks today. Mistake number 5 is to not take advantage of setting up a book series. Again, I have a whole separate video that talks all about the advantages and how Amazon really loves book series, simply because readers do. That's why Amazon adds links to all the other books in that same series automatically to our sales page. Even if this is our very first book, I encourage you to set up a series title. And that's because doing so will provide us with yet another opportunity to add more relevant keywords to our book, very similar to the advantages we are gaining with adding a subtitle to our book. For my book Forever My Always, for example, I let Amazon and potential buyers indirectly know that this book is 1, part of a series, and 2, that this series contains other books that are about the different phases and biggest moments in our lives. If I could do it over again, I would make my subtitle less broad and use one that lets buyers know that this is such a meaningful gift for graduates, whether that's high school graduates or college graduates. And that's really the power of adding a series title as well as a subtitle. Again, if you need any help with your series, how to set one up and what we will want to pay attention to, I have shared the link to my separate video in the description below. Mistake number 6, and truly one of the biggest lost opportunities when it comes to our sales page on Amazon, is to not set up our A+ content. If you only implement one thing from this video, let it be this one. A+ content is the additional information we as authors can share in our books from the publisher section. This is where we can add fun visuals and additional information about our book. It's so easy to set up. And if you already have my book mockup templates, then using the provided A+ content templates will make the creation of the images so very easy. I also went ahead and shared my separate video on A+ content in the description below to help you make the implementation of this optimizing step even easier. So please do add your A+ content today. Mistake number 7 is to not add anything to our book's editorial reviews section over on Amazon, the section that appears right below our A+ content. This is a section that is always heavily used with traditionally published books, and for a very good reason. Adding editorial reviews provides books with an added sense of credibility, and so this is something we will want to emulate for our book as well. Editorial reviews are something carried over from traditional publishing, and so Amazon's guidelines here are a lot less strict when compared to regular reviews. What do I mean? Well, for one thing, while regular reviews for our book can usually only be submitted by others, editorial reviews are added by the author. So if my book receives an editorial review, it would be me, the author, that would add that review, like I did here when I received these reviews for my book Sometimes It Rains. And two, while it's strictly prohibited to pay regular reviews, editorial reviews can be paid reviews. Kirkus is a great example here, where authors pay hundreds of dollars to receive that review. Another example would be paid influencer reviews. That said, just because we can pay for high-profile reviews doesn't mean we should. In fact, I usually don't pay for the editorial reviews that I receive from influencers, professionals, and even celebrities. If we know whom to reach out to and how to approach these high-profile people that would be relevant to our beautiful book, then receiving these impactful reviews can be absolutely free. That's something I've been teaching for years in influencer outreach. I completely updated this masterclass and added dozens and dozens of outreach scripts, as well as a list of perfect influencer pairing examples, so we can successfully find and reach out to influencers for such an editorial review. So if you would like to take a look, I shared the link to it in the description below. And finally, mistake number 8 is to not have any regular reviews. Reviews are so important. That's one of the first things we as buyers look at when deciding whether or not to purchase something over on Amazon, right? And that holds true for book buyers as well. Once we have a number of reviews, selling our book will be so much easier. The trouble is that receiving those first couple of reviews can be so very hard, especially as a first-time author. That's what I struggled with the most after I published my first children's book back in 2013 as well. And that's why I created so many different videos all around receiving reviews to help you with just that. One of the most powerful and quickest ways to gain our first reviews is to prioritize them during the launch of our book. So I have resources for that specific period as well, like my 30-day launch mastery that has already helped so many fellow children's authors share their beautiful book far and wide. The more social proof we can provide potential buyers with, the better. So please consider making it a priority. Optimizing our sales page will make all the difference. It will help us look just as polished and put together as any traditionally published book. We worked so very hard to get to where we are, so let's put our best foot forward over on Amazon as well. I hope you found this video really helpful when it comes to elevating your beautiful children's book. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet. It really encourages me to keep making free videos for you just like this one. Here's to optimizing our Amazon sales page. Bye!